Hi, Matt Sanders here. It's late in the evening on the third Sunday of Advent. And on the third Sunday of Advent, we celebrate, we remember, we focus on the gift of joy. And in this little video, I want to share with you the day that I was baptized with joy. It sounds weird, but I want to tell you about that. When I was 20 years old, my conversion process started. And I made a commitment to Christ. I said yes to Jesus, who was calling me to himself. And then when I was 21, in this conversion process, I was in the mountains of Santa Cruz, and I had this overwhelming power experience of God and a great understanding that God is. Oh, I had believed in God before that, for sure, but my awareness went from understanding fire to be like a little candle to finally seeing the sun and going, oh, that's fire. And it was on that day that I said a wholehearted yes to God. And I gave my whole life, everything about my life to God. And my prayer was so humble, so simple. And it was, God, you've always been there for me. I'm sorry I haven't always been there for you. From this day forward, I always want to be there for you. In everything I do, everything I say, every thought that I have, every intention of my heart. And then 2 months later is when the baptism of joy was given to me. October 1985. The month before I took over the youth ministry position. I had the privilege to take that over in my parish. And in this baptism of joy, I was on a retreat. I was with other young adults on a retreat. And one of the young adults said, hey, you guys, how about if we stay up all night and pray? And so there was about maybe 6 of us. We said, great idea, let's do it. And so we went into the chapel and we lay down on the floor of the chapel, kind of like spokes in a wheel, our heads toward the middle. And we were just praying for one another, just praying to God, really. And I said to the people, I said, you guys, I believe in God. I've committed myself to God, but I want to know him more. I want to really feel him. And would you pray for me? And they said, sure. And so they prayed for me. And it wasn't a loud prayer or anything. It was just, they just quietly went into this sacred space of quiet prayer for me. And during this prayer is when this baptism of joy came into my life. And I was filled from the inside out with the joy of the Lord. And I just started laughing. So I could have stopped it. I wasn't out of control of my senses. But I remember having the choice. Do I squelch this or I just allow it to come? And so I just said, Lord, I'm all yours. And he filled me with this joy, and I was just laughing and laughing and laughing. And that was it. So I wasn't given the gift of tongues in this baptism of the Holy Spirit. No. My baptism of the Holy Spirit was a baptism in joy. That was the spiritual gift that God decided to give me. This gift of joy manifested in that moment in laughter. What a beautiful gift. So I find it very interesting as I reflect on my conversion process, that step one was Christ calling me to himself, and I said yes. And step 2 was this huge understanding that God is. I had this expansive, explosive, in a way, understanding, oh, God is. And then I gave myself fully, full heart giving of myself to God. And then this third step, this third part of my conversion process was to be given this spiritual gift of joy. Now, there are a lot of spiritual gifts: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, and others. Why did the Lord decide to give me joy? I know why. Because he knew I needed it. Now, Have I always been joyful since that moment? No. Have I let it slip? Too many times. But I find myself here on this third Sunday of Advent, late in the evening, remembering this spiritual consolation, and I'm nurturing that. So I just wanted to share this with you to help edify you, to remember this beautiful phrase, the joy of the Lord is our strength. I need to remember that. And I want to share that with you if you need to remember. And if there is somebody in your life who might need to remember that, please share this video with them, particularly if it's a young adult who's struggling with a lot. Please share it. Also, I want to encourage you to savor your own spiritual consolations that you have had. I hope you've had many. And if you feel like you've never had a spiritual consolation, reflect on your life. And if you still are coming up empty, just ask God for one. Just ask for a gift, a special gift of His presence. That's it. A deep sense of His presence in your life. So, God bless you. May you have a blessed and joyful Christmas, truly. God bless. Peace.